He hasn't produced a bunch of mutas that caused me to, produce enormous amounts of Marines. And really kind of the strength of Banelings in that composition, Muta-Wing Bane, is that if you kill the Marines, then there isn't much else that is anti-air, and so your mutas can just clean up everything. But mid-late game Roach Baneling, I'm not entirely sure that is a good unit composition. He's going to try to push in here, but it is really not going. The Banelings roll over my bunker, splash on the front, roll the tank, and kill exactly what it is. He's just going to get cleaned up here. He managed to take out the top section of my force here with the Roaches. Roaches are pretty tough. He's got good upgrades, 2-1. But not enough. I did manage to take out a lot of my tanks, but I had the Thors, and Mass Marine, as Foxer has showed us, is pretty much counter for everything if you get enough of them and you can out-micro the Banes, which you can do with ease when you have a huge line of siege tanks and you're not on creep. So I've gone ahead and double expanded here. The 2 expansions that I said earlier that I would be able to control with this position is exactly what I'm doing. I've got 2 reactored starports up here, and these kind of serve a dual purpose. Initially I'm going to use them as medevacs to heal all my stimmed up Marines here, but also they're useful late game because a lot of Zerg players will try to do tech switches from Ultralisks to Broodlords. It's very hard for turn players to deal with that if they don't already have the production facility up. And he tries another one of these burrowed attacks, and snipes 3 tanks, I think it is. But he loses all of the Roaches, and yeah, that was definitely not worth it on his part. He does have Hive Tech up, though, and he's got an Infestation Pit. No Infestors on the field yet. He's got decent creep spread. It's got a little less than half the map covered, and he has his 4th up, which has the gas fully saturated and just a few minerals, but he has a ridiculous amount of minerals, so that's not a particularly big deal. On the other hand, spinning fairly well. He's spinning a little bit better. Really, I probably should have taken my 5th at this point. And probably I was a little late in producing extra factories. As you see, I've thrown down, let's see, that's, 6 racks, mostly with tech labs. I've already got a fair amount of Marines out in the field. I'm pretty confident that he's not going mass muta, and I would like to be able to produce mass marauder on short notice if he decides to produce an enormous amount of Ultralisks the next time he attacks and I kill his army. So that's why I'm producing all these tech labs here. Been pretty good about the upgrades. I should be upgrading armor right now, and I'm not. And I really should have had a second armory to be upgrading factory or vehicle armor plating. That's especially important for Thors when they're dealing with Ultras, and it's great for soaking Bane shots, but alas, I've forgotten that. That's definitely a gap on my part. Finally taking my 5th up here, he is taking this base and this base, which are his, it's 1, 2, 6th, 6th base, and I'm organizing a drop. I figured by now that he had reached Hive Tech, and I'm indeed correct, and so I'm going to drop his main and try and kill his Hive, and hope that he is out of position, because I don't at this point really know where his army is. I feel like Zerg is the best position though to deal with drops, just because they have creep and they have Zerglings, and both of those things allow you to move your army around very, very quickly, and not to mention that creep is like a giant bloody map hack. But, too late. Sorry, dude. 3 medevacs full of 3-2 Marines. Just eat up the cost of 4 Marines, I take out his hive. And I'd kind of figured that he was going to come over here and follow my medevacs, but alas, he does not. Decides to counterattack. Over here and hits this base a little bit. Main attack comes down here to this force. And apparently I just kind of stunned my Marines and back away for drops it. But it doesn't really matter because 5 tanks down at the bottom here. 3 more up top. 4s, and I've killed his 6th base here, and he has no army. So that is a good game from him. Okay, well I guess I'll go over the things that I did wrong, things that I could have done better, and ways in which he probably could have killed me. Muta Harass I was ready for. I like to do clumped up turrets like this. Zerg players are a lot less inclined to try and kill off turrets if they've got 4 shooting at them all at once, rather than 1, and then they have to go face another one, and then they have to go face another one. So if I have the money, I clump them up. Still, I would say it's probably a bad decision on my part to build as many turrets as I did, because I didn't actually scout the spire ever, and in fact it was really late. In fact, I probably think he had really just built it to turn into a greater spire and just never got into a random because he was busy losing the game. But blind countering is generally not a good idea. Spend minerals that you didn't really need to spend. Other things I could have done better. Sensor towers, I didn't have enough. I had, I think, maybe 1 or 2 down here at my slow push area, but I didn't have any peer detecting for drops or anything like that. A kind of doom drop in my main could have very easily hurt me very badly, as could him breaking through these back rocks here. I didn't have a supply depot back here on the back rocks like I should have, and that definitely could have bitten me in the ass. What else? Let's see. My spending pretty crappy towards the end here. Really, probably because I was busy dicking around with my drop over here, but there's no way you should be at 4,000 minerals, 3,000 gas, and only 160 food. Even if you kind of take into account all the stuff I lost here, I'm not entirely sure how much that was, maybe 30 food, but I should have been remaxing basically instantaneously. What else? Let's see here. Slow on my upgrading. I should have had weapons level 3, structure armor, and maybe even high-sec auto tracking for turrets in case he decides to do a late game muta switch. And that's about it. Other than that, I think I played fairly well, aside from, the gaps that I've mentioned. And he played pretty well as well. Could have been better with the creep spread, and generally his tactics were just not particularly innovative. He just kind of threw units at me, which is unfortunately somewhat typical of Zerg players. They have taken the whole swarmy thing to heart, I guess. But he tried to sneak roaches by over here to my 4th base. And that did not work out so well because I have all these turrets, and he had tried that earlier up here, and his flanking was just kind of not particularly inventive. He'd run roaches around up here, and then Banes up here, and also I was not particularly impressed with his unit composition. Not to say that he was a bad player. He is ranked, like 200 points higher than me, 300 points higher than me, so he's obviously a pretty good player, but it definitely could have played better. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was semi-educational, at least for all you Terran players out there. I'm aiming to be kind of a mix of entertainment and some educational content. Maybe a little self-education as well. If I go through my games like this and point out all my flaws, it will hopefully allow me to improve. Right now I'm sitting at about 1850 rank, and that's mainly because I haven't played the ladder since really about a week before Thanksgiving, and then I didn't play it all over Thanksgiving, and everybody knows if you take a break that long, when you come back, you're pretty much going to suck balls. So, being the chicken shit that I am, I've been playing custom games pretty much exclusively, and this is my first ladder match back. So, good start back. But anyway, we'll see if I man up and play some more ladder. Hope you guys enjoyed it.